Hello there. I bet you finally thought you got rid of me, didn't you? Well, too bad. I'm back. My camera's working again, and I'm not exhausted, so let's do the most productive thing we can possibly think of doing with this newfound energy and drink a depressant. Okay, so with me today I have Mainstreet Brewing's Naked Fox IPA. Unfortunately, my IPA glass is in the wash, so we're going to have to use this one, which is definitely not an IPA glass. It's a whatever glass. It works, it's fine, whatever. Anyway, this one's made by Mainstreet Brewing, and as the name suggests, they're located roughly around Main Street in Vancouver, in Brewery Creek, East 7th Avenue. So I've had this beer before a long time ago with my parents. I was at their, I think it was their for birthday dinner for my mom, and I quite liked it. It's been a while since I've had it, since I haven't been able to find it in stores. I don't know if it's a limited time only run thing, but it was about a year and a half before I finally saw it again. Actually, let's read the blurb. Born from infamy, our Naked Fox is a sly one. This dry IPA is brewed using a variety of North American and Southern Hemisphere hops, packing in everything you'd want in hop flavor and aroma into a single beer. The dryness on the malt side lets the hops shine through. All right, let's crack her open. It's a 650 ml one with 6.8% alcohol. It's going to be fairly potential, but not too crazy like some of the ones we've had on this show. Let's pour it in. Ooh, dear. See, I'm out of practice, okay? Just don't blame me. Well, you can blame me, of course, but, just shut the hell up, okay? Just leave me alone! Anyway, that improvised terrible tangent out of the way. What we have here, it looks like a lager, actually. It's very clear, like you can... Very, very clear, very yellowy, golden. Yeah, it looks like a lager, honestly. I've already, of course, just tasted it. What the hell? Okay, I think my nose might be malfunctioning today because I could have sworn I smelled fish. But now I can't smell anything. Yeah, I can't smell any... There's a faint hint of alcohol, but I can't really smell anything on this one. Very, very faint scent there, and I'm not going to be able to pinpoint it. I've already sucked on the head, so let's just get to the point, shall we? As the bottle says, this is a dry IPA. Like if you had dry wine before, whether white or red, you get the same sensation there. It's liquid, but it sure as hell feels like you're rubbing sand over your tongue when you pour it down. And I'm sorry, the frickin' fridge is making noise. I apologize for that. Normally I shut it off beforehand. Today I did not. I'm out of practice, okay? Just stop judging me, please. Anyway, back to the beer. Yeah, so it's a very dry beer. Obviously it's not literally dry, it's you're really novice for beer, it's not literally dry, it just tastes dryish. And let's have another sip to get more of a complex flavor out of it. Aside from the dryness, there's a malt. The malt takes precedent when you first sip it. So it's got, after the dryness washes over, you get used to it. You taste initial sweetness, followed by the hops just quietly sneaking in there and making their presence known. The hops are still prominent, as they should be for an IPA, but they are quite mild. This is a mild IPA as far as West Coast IPAs are concerned. The hops are not very in your face. Yeah, I would say this is kind of like a marriage between an IPA and a lager. A lager can be dry and crisp. Well, the IPA, of course, has the hop tinge at the end, but it's really not that strong of a hop tinge at the end. It is prevalent, but it's nothing like other IPAs you normally get. Honestly, if you were looking to get your feet wet in craft beers and IPAs, I would recommend this. This is a good jumping point. And it's actually quite good, despite the fact I just, kind of made it sound like some sort of weird fusion. It's not. I'm just using it as a comparison. But yeah, I certainly enjoy it. And if I actually see it in the freaking liquor stores where I live, I'd certainly pick up one for myself. As it is, I had to go all the freaking way to Richmond to get this. That's like 40, 50 minutes away from where I live. And I only happened to be there because I was visiting someone. So it's hard for me to find this one where I live. And despite the fact where I live, we have a great selection of beers, there's a few things that we just don't get in regular supply necessarily. Despite normally getting pretty much everything. We're pretty much, aside from Abbotsford, we're pretty much the last stop before you get nothing but like tiny little liquor stores about the size of my kitchen, which you can see in my older videos when I used to film that way. I've got a large kitchen, mind you, but just for liquor storage, it's tiny. So yeah, I actually like this quite a bit. For people who are like really want strong IPAs, they just love the taste of hops burrowing into your taste buds and just wreaking havoc on it. This is not the beer for you, but you might like it if you're open to weaker IPA. But if you're very strict about having a bombardment of hops, this is not the IPA for you. For me, though, I'm not really a big fan of the really, really strong IPAs, the ones that are just trying to be bitter rather than hoppy. I know my earlier videos I said I didn't like IPAs at all, but I really kind of regret those words. I do like hoppy IPAs, but not ones that are just clearly just designed to be as bitter as possible. This is a great beginner IPA, and honestly, I think people who don't like hops could still drink this and say, hey, here's an IPA I like. Some purists might be like, oh, it's a weak hops in it. But no, they're not weak hops. They're just subdued. They're still tasty. And that's the main thing. Well, I'm going to head out now. Had enjoyed my beer, and I hope you're glad to see me back as I'm glad to see you back. Cheers.